sexual energy. That one just popped in my head. They want me to talk about sexual energy. So, sexual energy. Hello everyone, welcome to our latest video. Today we are going to be discussing the Sacral Chakra, the orange one. The chakra that is housed just above your root chakra, which we talked about in the last video. Now, I have to ask you, if you like this video, please go ahead and let me know. If you have comments about what I'm saying, please, I'm begging you, go ahead and let me know. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel so that you can see all of the videos and so that you can actually be alerted when the solar plexus chakra video comes out, which will be coming up after this one, then do so. Now, the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is the chakra housed just above our root chakra. In my opinion, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra are our primal chakras. These chakras actually house our abilities to get along around here. Or at the very, very least, they garner the things that we obsess the most about here. They are money, sex, and power. But not actually just money, sex, and power, but to a certain extent, that is the gist that we would take from it on this plane. So money meaning security, sex meaning relations with other human beings, and power meaning what actually lies within you. What are you actually here to do? So to my mind, the sacral chakra, which is the one we're going to do today, is a really important chakra because it brings up your security and how you feel safe, and it borrows from your power in the thing that actually makes you somewhat safe, and it tries to marry the both and balance them with relationships with other people down here. Relationships with other people down here. Honest to goodness, I believe that is the most important part of your sacral chakra. That your sacral chakra actually helps you to find your community here. We are born into certain families. Not all of us are happy about the folks that we are born related to. That's just the way it is. In my opinion, we're born related to certain people so that we will get to know that soul on this walk. Otherwise, you'd probably avoid that kind of human being, or you never really see them or interact with them because their belief systems and the way that they live their lives are not coherent with yours. But they can be your family anyways. Anyone got people like that in their lives? Yeah, you do. You have family members you look at and go, oh my gosh, how are we related? Well, we look alike. So there are actually community people with you too. There are like-minded individuals as well. So you grow the relationships with your family and come to terms with who you are and who they are and the differences between the two of you and why those relationships might exist for you. But then there's the ones you build yourselves, like your husbands and your wives, or even your children, or the people who you choose to bring into your family, because your family are just the people you love. They're the people who just keep on showing up for you. They do not have to have the same blood coursing through their veins. Any adopted child will tell you that. Also, too, when it comes to the sacral chakra and the community and what we give to one another, it is shown to me that the way that we treat other people and have them feel by our actions is actually one of the most important things we can do. That is why you need to be mindful of how you treat others, because it will be revisited upon you. If you willingly hurt another person, you're actually going to have to feel that pain. I actually think you feel it walking this earth. We just don't realize we do. We just identify it as something else. So our relationships with each other are of great and immense importance to the growth of our soul. They are great and immense importance to our health, our well-being, and our balance and our ability to actually get through this whole darn thing. One of the obvious physical indicators, in my opinion, of our sacral chakra is our umbilical cord. Our umbilical cord is something everyone has. And I'm not entirely certain about that. I am not entirely certain if, if I'm wrong, if it is possible to be born in an artificial manner without an umbilical cord, please let me know. But I'm pretty darn sure each and every one of us is connected with an umbilical cord to another human being before we come here in one way, shape, or form. And that connection is actually felt after the umbilical cord is separated. To my mind, the umbilical cord is a reminder that we come here connected to others. It's an actual physical connection to our birth mother, but I believe it's a symbol of our connection to community and family. I believe because, actually this is why. Because if you're going to do lucid dreaming or transcendental meditation, you need to use an umbilical cord. It will keep you rooted to the body, the physical self, and that way you can go and be where you need to be. But you need that umbilical cord root in order to do what you need to do. If I don't have that umbilical cord root, we're not going to come back to. I'm not actually connected still to the physical self. So, in my opinion, without that umbilical cord, we couldn't do the transcendental meditation because there'd be no community to visit. Why would you need to? Why would you need to actually go and see what anything else is going on anywhere else in the world if there were no other humans in the world? If you weren't part of the community of the world, but you are part of the community of the world. So what other people do affects you. What other people say means something to you. That's your umbilical cord community that is housed within your sacral chakra. Does that make sense? That's what you might want to look at when you're looking at your sacral chakra, or when you're thinking about how do I open it? How do I come to terms with my sacral chakra? Well, you could look at what your community means to you, what your position in that community is, and okay, now sexual energy. That one just popped in my head. They want me to talk about sexual energy. So, sexual energy. Your sexual energy, that seems like such a quagmire. It actually even seems like something they're not supposed, they don't want me to talk about in a physical kind of way, even though when we think about sex, we think about something being in certain, we think about the physical when we think about sex. We don't usually think about the energy having to do with it, and we don't usually think about what it means to us so much. We do once it goes awry. Once things go badly when it comes to sexual energy, we examine it, we go after it, we try to look at it, or we ignore it. When we notice when things go bad. We don't notice as much when things are going well. What if you just got in front of it? What if actually you started to look at your sexual energy as though it is a teeter-totter inside of your body and it needs to be balanced? That you need to give as much as you take, that you need to allow yourself to have some, ladies. You need to actually see yourself possibly as a sexual being in order to balance your sexual energy. And to see yourself as a sexual being doesn't mean that you have to see yourself and start saying, hey, baby, aren't you cute? Your sexual energy actually has to do with your ability to share your energy with another. And we physically do it on the whim and on the fly, and sometimes with complete and absolute strangers. So we actually share the physical being, but we do not share the energetic or the soul being. Or if we actually do share our energy with this other person, how does it get answered back to us? How do we build that relationship of that energy even moving? Even when we don't even identify with the fact that actually when we are sexually aroused, we are igniting an energy within us that is attracting attracting the energy of another or is attracted to the energy of another. It is when they show me sex on the other side, and they do show me sex on the other side, it is everything but the physical. It is the feelings that go behind it. It is the intertwining of two souls. It is a much, much larger and more amazing experience than what we even understand here in the physical world. So if you take the sexual energy that you feel and you bring it up into a higher place for you, where it's not just a physical thing, it is an emotional thing, it is an energetic thing. Oh, goodness gracious, they actually even want me to lead it right into something that I tell women to do. I don't think I've ever had to tell a man to do this on a regular basis, and that is, I'm going to just say it flat out, masturbate. I can't believe I just said that. I did just say that. Oh my gosh. But you need to, because you need to know what your sexual energy is. And I believe that women have a harder time with admitting that they do that, or even wanting to do that, even when they know no one else is watching, because they think just God's watching, that they think that they're not supposed to, that it's dirty and girls don't do that. That's something icky, yucky boys do. But icky, yucky boys are smart. They actually, that's the best way they can get rid of that energy. Because if you even just think about it logically and on a physical way, when men ejaculate, they actually make their testicles healthier. Ejaculation is a very good way of keeping your prostate healthy. So obviously men are supposed to do it. Obviously it's good for you. And obviously if they do not do that, then that energy gets all latent and caught up and actually turns to illness within them. I dare say that might be what happens to women. How many women do you know that reach the age of menopause and lose their uterus because things aren't functioning the way they should? Possibly your uterus, your vagina, sorry, but it might be that these things, these parts, and I don't want to say the one that rhymes with Dolores, but you know I want to, maybe those things actually need to be manipulated and moved in order for the energy to move, in order to keep that area healthy. Maybe that's actually what we need to do. Maybe also when we talk about sexual energy in today's society, especially for us lady friends, is taboo. Look how much trouble I just had with the word masturbation. See, I'm even giggling when I say it. I am 51 years old. I am not a child. I should be able to say the word clitoris without having to rhyme it with Dolores, so that you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm even displaying the angst that we feel when it comes to our sexual energy. Well, what if we didn't feel that? What if we actually saw our sexual energy as like being hungry, as a need that needs to be fulfilled? And what if we saw that need as a healthy thing? Something that actually can be fulfilled and everyone can be okay with it, and it doesn't have to be such a taboo, yucky thing. Well, what if sexual energy was kind of normalized and people were okay with feeling sexually anything? Because maybe it's not just sex. Maybe it actually has to do with the way we relate to one another. Maybe sometimes you can actually feel like you have a sexual attraction to someone, but you're only feeling it as a sexual attraction because you don't know you can have a soul attraction to a person. That possibly when we want to actually experience someone in a sexual kind of way, which is the most raw way of experiencing another person physically, maybe when we feel that, it's actually not just the physical that we want to experience. We want to experience the emotional and the mental and the psychological and the psychic energy of that human being, but we just aren't told to see it that way because we're such physical beings. And the sacral chakra is the second chakra. I mean, my goodness, the first chakra is safety because we're like, ugh, all the time. The second chakra is your sexual energy. And it's right there next to your need to feel safe and between your need to feel powerful. It's so important. So important. Another little thing. It's not really a little thing. It's kind of a huge thing. Have you ever lived with a group of women? Are you a woman? Have you lived with other women? Do you notice that our cycles sync up? I don't even have a uterus anymore, but I know when my daughters are going to be menstruating because I cry 2 days before. And then I can't figure out why I'm crying. And it's because I have PMS, but I don't even have a uterus. That connection actually supersedes my physical self. It supersedes the idea my body doesn't realize that it's not going to slough off the lining of my uteral wall every month. It just starts putting me through these cycles because the other women around me are in that cycle. And I'm part of a group of women because I'm here. And that's the only reason, is because I'm here. We are all connected. You can look and you will find those connections. They are so easy and plain to see. They only just need just the tiniest bit of investigation. And if you don't totally believe me, be a bit of a detective. Look around and see where you can actually see the connections for you and your community. And then actually start making the positives for yourself. And if you really can't figure it out, comment below and I'll let you know. I'll help you a little bit. You are not here on just your own journey. Otherwise, it would be like a lonely island. You would not actually interact with anyone else or any other soul if this was just about you. This is about everyone. This is about all of us. The way that your soul does better in the afterlife, the way that your soul grows, is actually through other people. The only reason I know I am a psychic, not a crazy person, is because I get information about other people for other people. So to me, it proves to me that something's talking to me in my head because I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart. What do you do to balance your sacral chakra? What can you do? Well, you can listen to the sound of the sacral chakra, which I will be playing at the end of this video, like I did with the root chakra video. I got my chakra chimes and I whacked it so that you guys could get the sound. And I'm going to put a whole video together of all but each sound, obviously, at the end of the 7. So you can listen to the sound, which is VUM, which I always remember. It's spelled V-A-M, but said VUM. I always remember it as va-va-va-voom, because the sexual energy part of things, and va-va-va-voom, hello. So say VUM. That's actually how I open my sacral chakra, is I sit cross-legged as I do. I tend to rock. I try to stay still, but nah. And I say VUM, VUM, VUM. And I just say it over and over again in my head till I don't need to say it anymore, and I just feel it, and I just know. It's almost like I'm saying bum, 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 bum. And leading it at that and knowing that I'm in that energy. Concentrating on this part of my body. Yeah, because you're in charge of you. This little thing is in your skull. It's not in anybody else's skull. Nobody can tell you actually how to open your chakras. You have to figure out how to open your chakras. You have to look at different ways that people open their chakras and see which one actually kind of tickles your fancy a little bit more. So if you want your fancy tickled, look into different ways of opening the chakras. You can actually even, what I find is really, 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 really helpful is to actually look at each chakra based on what each chakra is, which is why I'm doing these videos, so that you can actually look at each individual chakra, because this isn't quick fix. You're not just gonna think of the rainbow and have it blah, 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 now I'm balanced, everything's wonderful. I have been doing this stuff for almost 30 years and I was born all crooked like this. This is the way I am, and I'm actually trying to straighten it out and balance it out. So I'm a little, I don't want to say in my head, but honestly thinking I am a crooked puts me slightly ahead, because then there's the need for balance within it. When you don't realize that there are things that are kind of imbalanced in you, how are you supposed to balance them? Until you actually start looking at each individual chakra within yourself, and then you can actually see the imbalances within. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate greatly that you watched it. And at the end of the video will be some sacral chakra sounds for you to peruse, to listen to. Let's try to open up your sacral chakra a little bit. Vum, vum, vumming it. Okie dokie. I'm Bobbi Rowntree, born medium. And if you would like to have a reading with me, if you would like to see more of me, please comment below. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Do all those things. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope your sacral chakra is balanced throughout it. Namaste.